Hello, thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Tuesday, February 18th edition of our video devotionals. Thank you so much for joining us today. Hope your Tuesday is going well. And we've got probably, I guess you would consider an average weather day here in central North Carolina, high of about 50. And we got down below freezing a little bit this morning. But tomorrow they're calling for snow. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, a pretty nice day. And hopefully your day is going well where you are. We're going to be in Numbers chapter 22 today. We're going to read verses 6 through 12. And if you'll find that, we'll be in that just momentarily. Just want to say thank you again for all who watch the videos and for the comments and just the acknowledgments of viewing the video, okay? All right, so notice here, it's an interesting story here about this man by the name of Balaam. And there's this king called Balak, king of the Moabites. So we're going to begin in verse 6 and try to help you with the context here. If you've been in church any length of time, this is not that unfamiliar a story, but it's not as familiar as some of the stories and the people in the Bible. But notice what it says here in verse 6 of Numbers 22. It says, "Come now, therefore, I pray thee, curse me this people, for they are too mighty for me. Peradventure I shall prevail, that we may smite them, and that I may drive them out of the land. For I wot that he whom thou blessest is blessed, and he whom thou cursest is cursed. And the elders of Moab and the elders of Midian departed with the rewards of divination in their hand. And they came unto Balaam, and spake unto him the words of Balak. And he said unto them, Lodge here this night, and I will bring you word again, as the Lord shall speak unto me. And the princes of Moab abode with Balaam. And God came unto Balaam and said, What men are these with thee? And Balaam said unto God, Balak, the son of Zippor, king of Moab, hath sent unto me, saying, Behold, there is a people come out of Egypt, which covereth the face of the earth. Come now, curse me them, peradventure I shall be able to overcome them, and drive them out." Verse 12. "And God said unto Balaam, Thou shalt not go with them, thou shalt not curse the people, for they are blessed." Obviously, it's talking about the people of God. Interesting story how that Balaam goes to God, and yet he doesn't seem to know the people of God. Certainly the king of Moab, he was concerned because he had heard how Israel had done these things to some of the other kings and nations. But the premise here is that the king of Moab says, "Well, I'm gonna find me this prophet, if you please, and if he blesses the people I ask him to bless, then they'll be blessed, and if he curses them, then they'll be cursed." As if somehow that power lies within a man, or even if he thought, you know what, he's got such a connection with a God or God that he'll be able to do this. But obviously the king of Moab doesn't know the God of all gods. He doesn't know the God of the people of Israel. And Balaam seems to know God, but he doesn't know the people of God. But here's what happens. Balaam says, "Well, I'm going to go pray about it." He goes and says, "I tell you what, God told me, not to go with you." Now, he ends up going with them, and there's a lot to the story here. But the point I want to make is God said, these people are blessed because I've blessed them. And that's the most important premise in life, is to make sure you got the blessing of God, not the blessing of man. Now, there's nothing wrong with having someone that follows God, knows God, and if you go to your pastor, or or even as children that we go to their parents trying to seek advice or some godly advice, there's nothing wrong with that. There's godly counsel, and that's all proper and right. There's something about people that somehow just kind of look at what someone else has got to say, and especially if they hear the answer that they want to hear, you see. And I think sometimes people kind of shop around and maybe go to a preacher and say, "Look, I'm in this situation. What do you think?" And if they hear what they want to hear, they go, "Oh, okay, then I've got this preacher's approval on it." Well, let me tell you something. The most important approval is God's approval. And if God has blessed these people, and of course he did, they're his people, then they're blessed. So I guess we just have to be careful with making sure that it's not about what this or that person thinks or says. In the sense, go to God, and if God wants to help you be in a rightful position, he can certainly help people help you get there. I believe that's what church is about. I think good godly counsel. But the idea that some man is going to determine the blessings upon our life, or even the curses, that's a bad position to be in. We need to make sure we've got his blessings, and that's one of my most important facets of trying to pastor this church. The approval of the people. You don't want to displease people, but you want to please God. You certainly don't want to please the people, and knowing that you're displeasing God just because of the favor or whatever benefits you may get. So it doesn't mean you got to walk around and just discount everybody, but it does mean, hey, God is the one who blesses, and we need to make sure we're in that important position there. Okay, well, we're going to stop right there. Have a safe day, healthy day, and all of that. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow on what we call Wisdom Wednesday. And thank you for watching.